Hello everyone, I'm so glad to see you all again. Today we're going to dive into a topic that may seem familiar at first, but once you peel back the layers, it's full of contradictions and deep reflections. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? It sounds like a simple question, but behind it lies a wealth of meaning about cause and effect, existence, and beginnings. I'll do my best to break it down into simple, understandable pieces so that we can explore the fascinating ideas behind this question together. Let's dive right in. Why has this question sparked so much debate? Because it's a perfect example of a paradox, specifically a paradox about cause and effect. From a biological perspective, the answer seems obvious. Chickens lay eggs. That's what we see, right? But if we step back and ask, if there was no egg, then where did the chicken come from? We're immediately drawn into an infinite loop, one that doesn't have an easy answer. To understand this better, let's take a look at history. In 2010, researchers at the University of Sheffield and Warwick in England discovered a fossil dating back millions of years, believed to belong to the prehistoric ancestor of the modern chicken. What they found was a protein called ovoclidin 17, which is essential to the formation of eggshells and is only found in the ovaries of chickens. This finding led to the theory that chickens, or at least the biological precursors to modern chickens, might have existed before eggs in their current form. But this still raises the question, what then produced the first chicken? This is where the issue becomes more complex, evolving beyond just a question of biology and into the realm of evolution and philosophy. We know from the theory of evolution that species gradually change over time through natural selection. What began as a different species could have slowly transformed over millions of years into what we now recognize as a chicken. But here's the catch, these changes are so gradual, so subtle, that it becomes nearly impossible to pinpoint the exact moment when the first chicken as we know it came into existence. The evolutionary process blurs the lines. This brings us back to the paradox. If the egg is essential to the creation of a chicken, and the chicken is essential to the production of an egg, where does the chain begin? For those of you who enjoy philosophical puzzles, this can be endlessly fascinating. We're stuck in a loop where cause and effect seem to chase each other endlessly, with no clear start or finish. But biology and evolution aren't the only lenses through which to view this question. Many religious and philosophical traditions have weighed in on this debate, offering different perspectives. One of the most intriguing viewpoints comes from Buddhist philosophy, which emphasizes the concept of karma and the cyclical nature of existence. In Buddhism, nothing exists independently or permanently. Everything arises due to causes and conditions, and nothing has a definitive beginning or end. Therefore, the question of the chicken or the egg becomes less about which came first, and more about understanding the interconnectedness of all things. Buddhism teaches that everything is part of a continuous cycle of cause and effect. So, rather than focusing on which came first, it's more about recognizing that both the chicken and the egg are part of a vast interconnected web of existence. Neither can exist without the other, and both are dependent on countless factors that came before them. If we apply this perspective to our own lives, we see that every action, every decision we make today is the result of countless previous actions, decisions, and influences. For instance, if you're successful in your career, is it purely due to your hard work today, or is it also the result of the education, experiences, and opportunities you've had throughout your life? Or when you feel frustrated or disappointed, could it be because of past choices or circumstances that led to this moment? Buddhism teaches that there's no moment that exists in isolation from the past or the future. Everything is connected, intertwined, and constantly influencing one another. Trying to identify a clear first cause or a definitive effect only leads to confusion. Instead, the key is to recognize the fluid nature of life, where every moment is both a consequence of the past and a seed for the future. Another powerful concept in Buddhism is dependent origination, which holds that nothing arises by chance, rather everything depends on causes and conditions. This means that no event or phenomenon occurs in isolation. Everything depends on something else. Applying this to the chicken and the egg, we might say that neither one can be said to come first. Instead, they both exist as part of a larger cycle of causality. When we apply this idea to our daily lives, it encourages us to look deeper into our circumstances. Often we get caught up in worrying about success, failure, or the challenges we face. But if we take a step back, we realize that everything happening to us now is part of a larger chain of causes and effects. Each hardship we encounter can be seen as a learning experience, and each success is the result of previous efforts. Life doesn't always present clear answers, but understanding that everything is interconnected can give us a sense of peace and clarity in the midst of uncertainty. The story of the chicken and the egg also invites us to think about the relativity of life. Nothing is absolute, and nothing exists in a vacuum. We are part of a larger system, just like the chicken and the egg. They rely on each other for life to continue. In the same way, our actions and decisions affect those around us, and in turn, we are shaped by the actions and decisions of others. This interconnectedness is what makes life so rich and complex. In our modern, fast-paced world, this concept of interconnectedness is more important than ever. With globalization and technology, we're more connected than at any point in human history. The choices we make can have far-reaching consequences, both for ourselves and for people we may never meet. This makes it even more crucial to understand that no action is isolated, and that we must think carefully about how we live our lives. The question of the chicken and the egg, when viewed through this lens, becomes less of a simple puzzle and more of a profound reflection on the nature of existence. It reminds us that nothing in life is separate or independent. We are all part of a larger cycle, influenced by the past and shaping the future. So, how does this age-old question apply to our daily lives? I believe it teaches us to embrace the complexity and ambiguity of life. We can't always identify a single cause for any event, and we shouldn't try to reduce life to simple answers. Instead, we need to recognize that life is full of overlapping causes and effects, and that sometimes the answer isn't as important as how we respond to the situation. This is a lesson we can apply to almost anything. Whether you're navigating a difficult decision, facing a challenge, or reflecting on your own successes, remember that everything is connected. Just like the chicken and the egg, your current situation is shaped by countless factors, some of which you may not even be aware of, and it will, in turn, shape what comes next. Accepting this complexity can help us find peace in the present moment and guide us toward more thoughtful decisions in the future. Thank you all for staying with me this far. I hope this exploration of the chicken and the egg has given you something to reflect on, how even the smallest questions can carry deep, meaningful insights. If you enjoyed today's topic, don't forget to hit subscribe so you won't miss out on future episodes. And of course, if you found this discussion thought-provoking, please hit like and share to spread these ideas to others. I'll see you in the next episode.